Yes, yes. What's going on, guys? My name is Eddie Tranzcendent, and you're now tuned in, either watching or listening to Tranzcendent Outlook. Today, I'm super excited to be here at Chase Bank, sitting with Eduardo. Eduardo Cabrera he's a good friend of mine, but more importantly, he's bringing a message of some of the work that he's doing in the community here in Bridgeport. And I think it's an important message that I want you guys to listen to and to support, right? And that's kind of why I'm here. I'm here today, and I think this is the North Branch. Is that what they call it?
North End Bridgeport.
Yeah, the North End branch of Chase on Main Street in Bridgeport. Hanging out with Eduardo, and we're gonna get right into it because today we don't have too much time. So this one's gonna be about half an hour long. But it's gonna be super exciting. You're gonna get to meet a wonderful young man that I think Eduardo is, and learn about the work that he's doing and the work that Chase is doing here in the community. So without further ado, Eduardo, what's going on?
What's going on, man? Thanks for the intro.
Listen, I'm super excited to be with you. I interviewed your wife hace como 4 años atrás. Yeah, right, like 4 years ago.
Yeah, that's right.
And that was fun. That was interesting. I feel like I interviewed both of you at the time, right? Because I think both of you were kind of talking about, your wife's journey with her music and everything. But this is not about your wife. This is about you, right?
Yeah.
So I think before we really get into like the meat and potatoes of what it is that you and Chase are doing here in Bridgeport and in Fairfield County, I think let's talk a little bit about you and who are you?
Definitely. No, thank you for this time. Thank you for this opportunity to share my story and what I'm doing. About me, Bridgeport native, born and raised here, and been in banking for almost 18 years now.
Yeah.
And so something I got into shortly after college and really enjoyed it.
Your parents from here too, or they're?
Yeah, so my father's from Vega Baja. My mom's from Ay Bonito. They met here.
They met here?
They met here.
Okay.
Yeah, they met here. And right in the east side, right? And they tell me all the time they met off of Pembroke Street. I think you live there.
I'm from that side. Yeah, I'm from over there.
Yeah. So, so they met over here, and I'm the youngest of 6. So, my dad was a Rolling Stone,
Yeah.
And, what was interesting about my family, though, is that my dad had bought a store when I was in the early 90s.
Like a grocery store?
A little bodega.
Okay.
Yeah, a little bodega right on Brooks and Ogden.
Okay.
And, that's just a big part of my story.
Yeah.
It's a big part of it really shaped me, like who I am and stuff like that.
That store is still there.
Oh yeah. Still, I think it's called
Munchies or something, right? Yeah.
Back then, Back then it was called Vega Baja.
Oh, okay.
Vega Baja.
Okay.
Yeah. Danny used to go there. My
Danny?
friend Danny, his family used to go there and everything. And
yeah, because I think that's our connection. Our connection is really Danny, my cousin Danny.
Yep.
Because Danny obviously grew up in church, right? He was raised in church. Him and Davidcito.
Yeah, that's
may he rest in peace. They were really good friends. I met Davidito, and then through Davidito, I met you.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that's really a big part of. I met a lot of people there, in the
east side.
In the east side, and what's funny, like my dad, most everybody know my dad because he used to give a lot of fiao, for those of you that don't know, fiao is credit. You come in, you get something, and then you pay back when you get your funds.
El día 3 que no venga.
Yeah, día primero, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
So just watching my dad there in the store, watching him
interacting
with people, the people that came to the store from all different walks of life.
Yeah.
And I just got to know a lot of people and how to be with people, how you treat people no matter what situation they may be in. It doesn't matter.
Now your parents were cristiano también?
No, I can't say. I can't say. My mom was like Catholic, right?
Okay.
So she brought me up, bringing me to Catholic. I didn't get baptized though till I was like 12.
Yeah, no, me too.
Oh, you did? You're Catholic too, or no?
Yeah, no. So I mean, I was baptized as a baby.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the religion. But then later on, like around 11 or 12, I ended up going to St. Mary's on Pembroke Street.
Yeah. St. Mary's. A lot of people.
And I did my first communion there and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, that we weren't. I didn't really grow up in church. I ended up really starting being church started being a big part of my life in like 2002, like 2000. I was 22.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So after college, you get into the banking world,
right? So I went to college, right? I was first one in my immediate family to go to college.
First generation,
first generation, which I'm very happy about. And because so one of the things that I always used to hear in the store was they used to always give me 2 advice.
Yeah.
And I hear from all the older guys, but believe it or not, the same two advice from different people, different guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Then the first one was don't get married. And it was fun. I don't know if they always seem to be like late at night.
Yeah.
So they might have a couple drinks, or start going out at home.
Yeah.
But they will always tell me,
no te cases.
No te cases. Don't get married.
Yeah.
And don't leave school.
Okay.
And then that's something that my mom drilled into me too.
Yeah.
Education was like first and foremost.
Yeah.
So that really stuck with me, and I made it a point to go to college and get my bachelor's degree.
In what?
In political science.
Okay.
So it's like one of the I would say one of the biggest I don't want to say regrets, but I should have probably gotten something else, because political science, my plan was to go to law school. That's what I was trying to do.
Got it.
And everybody told me, hey, political science is going to best prepare you for law school.
Yeah.
But, graduated from college, and then my parents split like right after, I graduated.
Yeah.
And so I was the last one home. My mom, it was tough.
Yeah.
And my options were out of state. I wasn't able to get into like anything local. And so, lo and behold, I was doing deposits for one of the churches. I was the treasurer for the first church that I had converted at. And the manager there, he was like, hey, I got a part-time available here if you're interested.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? It's going to fit good with my schedule right now. So then I started at People's United Bank right down Barnum Ave.
Okay.
So it was right in our neighborhood. It's that same area on the east side. Yeah. And everybody knows me as like Tito's son.
Wait, that was not there, right?
Now it's not there.
Okay, it's like a school now or something.
Yeah. Now they switched it up to it's a school.
Como una escuela o algo. Yeah.
It's like a hair salon.
Yeah,
I think,
some kind of a technical school.
Yeah,
something. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so you started there.
I started there.
Okay.
Part-time teller. First experience in banking.
But when I met, I feel like not when I met you, but when I really got to know more of you, you were a branch manager.
Yeah, at that point.
So you moved up?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started as a part-time teller there, and I started liking it. I really and I knew the customers. A lot of them used to go to my father's store, and they used to recognize. They always call me Tito's son. They was like, "Oh, this is Tito's son." And then when I stood at People's long enough, then it was el muchacho del banco. It's like they never knew my name. But lo and behold, I just really liked it. Really talking to people about. I remember the first product that I'll be talking about people was like CDs. Like, hey, like you ain't got no plans for this. Look into this, you could get
options.
More interest.
Yeah.
And I just like to engage people and talk to them about that.
That scares me the most.
What's that?
Like offering or like that. Like I worked in a bank before.
Okay.
And le tenía miedo a eso.
Did you?
Yeah, man. To tell people, hey, are you interested in it? Because I guess I was afraid of like the no, I'm not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that scared me, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people do get they don't want to get that rejection, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to deal with rejection, right? But like one of the things I would remember one of my mentors at the bank would tell me, hey, the more no's you collect, you're gonna get closer to a yes.
Of course. Yeah.
And I think just coming from a place where you're looking to really help and you know that you're trying to like help and I say, hey, look, I got this offer for you, but feel free to say no. So I would always like make it real easy to say no.
Yeah.
But I'll make sure that I help them understand, the options.
Yeah.
And then, they'll be intrigued. And I ended up talking to a lot of people about, different finance options. And one of the things that helped me move up in People's was when I got my life insurance license. Like that was one thing I would just talk to everybody about life insurance, because I thought it's important.
Of course.
I always liked numbers, and I don't know. I've always been in, growing up in my father's store, just growing up in business, and it's just numbers always something that I enjoy doing, and so. I always used to tell people, hey, you're working hard, and we're suspicious. We're suspicious.
Yeah.
Us Hispanic, we're suspicious. Don't talk to me about, no hable de seguridad porque voy me muero. I can't get that because now I'm putting a death wish on myself.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so it's just funny, like the different options that you would hear, or the different objections that you would hear from people.
Yeah.
They would just say the funniest things. But my dad always say, My dad used to tell me, pa morir solo que tener que estar vivo. So you know, to die, you just need to be alive, you know? And so I used to tell him that, and he was just kind of taught through it. And
now, how did you go from a part-time teller to start, like, at what point do you say, you know what, I think I want to hang out here a little longer and start to, you know, move up?
Yeah, so opportunities came, full-time opportunity came, you know, to start right from there. And you know, I was offered the full-time because, you know, I was engaging a lot of customers and, you know, just talking to a lot of people, and so they gave me the opportunity to be full-time. And then shortly after that, you know, I was another opportunities just kept coming, you know, and I think you know, I had mentors through it, you know, there were some mentors like Peter Martinez, Virgilio Lopez, who's he's also big on community. And they just kind of, you know, gave me opportunities and taught me the way, you know, I remember like Peter Martinez, like he was the one that encouraged me to get my life insurance license. And the nice thing about like you know, when I was working back then was that they had us doing everything. So I did like life insurance. Once I got into management, you know, I was helping people with investments. Like I would write the trades up to a certain amount, refinancing mortgages, doing small business loans.
So you really got your hands like dirty. You really got into everything.
Like we got into everything. We were doing like, you know, business loans up to $250,000 that we would originate. And so that gave me a good experience because I was able to really round out. You know, and just touch all these different aspects of retail banking. And so all that knowledge, just trying to, you know, make sure that, you know, it gave me an opportunity to share, right? The things that I've learned and give people options and talk to them one-on-one, because, you know, people come to see you, you know, it was nice that sometimes I didn't have to refer them, you know, or even if it did, that worked out too. You know, but that was the difference back then. We were able to just do all these different things there and within retail banking. You know?
Now, how long does it take for you to go from, you know, starting off to, you know, get really, you know, branch manager? What are you talking, like 10 years or?
For me, I started as a part-time teller in 04. No, I started in 05 as a part-time teller. And I got into the program to be a manager. It took me 4 years.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
I got into the program like in 2009.
Is that normal or?
There's some people that took longer. Some people that did it right around there, or maybe like a tad bit longer or shorter. I've seen people like do it like maybe in 4 years or so.
When and why? So 2 questions: when and why did your commitment change from like, okay, estoy trabajando aquí, to like, oh no, you know what? I think I want to move up. I think I want to, you know.
Yeah, I just think I kept learning, right? And so I just kind of like tunnel vision. Like I don't think it was a point where, well, I'm lying because I probably was entertaining other fields at the beginning, right? And then like I just kind of like, I think anything that we do, I think we should always do it to our best, right? Always do it to your best ability. And I think when you do that, opportunities are gonna show up because you're doing your best, right? And so I enjoyed it, right? I was actually leaving my house, and to this day I still, you know, I enjoy what I'm doing now too, right? But in this field in banking, man, I leave my house feeling good. You know, like I'm like, man, I'm on my way to work and I think it's gonna be a good day.
I love that. I love that.
Know, like a lot of people don't, you know, and when I was managing, I would tell people, I'm like, look, you're here 40 hours. You know, if you're not enjoying this, then you should find something else. You know what I mean?
No. Like, listen, I agree 100%. You know, 5-6 years ago almost, when I quit my state job, I told people, oh my God, you're crazy, state job, good money, whatever. Yeah, it was a great job. Good job security, good money, everything was great. But I'll wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, I gotta do this again, you know? And that was part of it, you know? I think it was that, and it's something else you said. You were learning. So as you're going, you're learning more. More. So there's more challenges. For me, I got to a point where there was no more challenges. Not that I knew it all. No, I see. But I was going to work and it was the same thing. And I was like, hey, I need more. So I think what I hear from you is that, you know, the challenge of like new things kept you going,
Absolutely.
even now, like just learning more stuff, wakes you up in the morning and you're excited to go because obviously you get to work with people, but you get to learn more.
Absolutely.
And I think that's kind of where it's at.
Yeah. And this topic of banking, is it's a big topic. There's a lot of different sub things going on. And I think in my journey, just kept learning, taking opportunities. They kept giving me opportunities to learn more and to share that knowledge. And so I think that's part of the reason why I was able to move up, and plus, having the bachelor's already, even though it's in political science, that helps.
Of course.
They look at that when when you're getting promoted and stuff like that. So once I got into management, most of my career was here in Bridgeport. I managed, I think a good amount of like maybe 7, 8 years before I got moved to Fairfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was managing one of their flagship branches out there.
Was that before or after Main Street? Because you were on Main Street up there by
right after Main Street.
Okay.
So I left Main Street. And then I went to my first branch in Fairfield. Then they moved me to a bigger branch in Fairfield after that. Yeah, so it's kind of like rounding me out. They're like, "Hey, you've been in Bridgeport your whole career. Let's move you over here and see how you get rounded out."
No, it makes perfect sense. I think in the banking world because my wife, obviously, she's banking as well, and I see a lot of that with her too. They throw her there for a little while. Okay, go over here. And sometimes it's like, ay, Dios mío, otra vez. But at the same time, it's like, no, you're learning more. So you're just getting more around it, Definitely. Now, I was super surprised when I don't know how it happened. I don't know if you told me. I don't know how I found out that you were at Chase now. But I was surprised. That you were in people that you were at Chase now. So tell me a little bit about that. How did that happen?
Yeah, a lot of people were like taken back, like even the people that I worked with, because 17 years. That's a good run, and. I left right before the acquisition of
the M&T.
The M&T,
true,
right?
True.
Which is not, I think is a great bank also, and I was actually looking forward to the conversion. I didn't see nothing negative with it, but what happened was, so let me back up a little. Like Virgilio Lopez, he was like one of my main mentors, and one of the things that he had us engaged when we was managing in Bridgeport is to reach out to nonprofits, do financial literacy. And I really enjoyed that.
And I think people did, and I'm sure M&T now done a really good job at that.
They were always had us. It was always encouraged to be involved in the community and do financial literacy and everything else. And so I was able to do a little bit of that. And I saw this posting for Chase. I was kind of looking, I was just kind of seeing what was out there. And I seen this position with Chase. And it talked about financial literacy and being involved with the community and everything else. And I said, I think this might be a good move for me. And so I applied, and they offered me the position, and it all made sense. And lo and behold, I started last year in March, which is not that long ago. But it's been really good. So what I learned was that Chase had made a really big commitment, $30 billion, in
30 billion.
30 with a B.
With a B,
Yeah, good chunk of change, right? So that's, when you talking about that much money, that's a big commitment. And so what I learned was that they made this commitment, and with that commitment to be in, low to moderate income communities, to build racial equity, and to close that wealth gap that exists. Right? Because it's there. We can't deny it.
Of course.
You look at the statistics and you look at the numbers, you can't deny there's a big wealth gap. And so, and they're serious about it. So they're doing this by a lot of different fronts. So they're addressing the issue in many different ways. And one of the ways as a community manager.
Before we go there, what's your title?
A community manager. VP community manager.
Okay.
So that's the title, right? It's a new role that got put into place from this commitment. So the line of business is only like two years plus old. So there's a lot of things we're still like learning, policies and that, different things that we're testing out. And so it's just good to be part of that journey, to being involved in something that is fairly new. You get to come in and you get to help kind of build it, right? Absolutely.
Because you're kind of like out there testing, not testing, but you're out there kind of, putting into play everything you talked about, And for me, me seeing that, I was excited because obviously Chase has been around for a long time in the area. but I didn't see a lot of Chase in the community. And as you know, I've been working with the community for 6-7 years already, and I didn't see a lot of it. And I would ask my wife, and I would always ask, hey, what's going on? Oh, I don't know, whatever. So when I saw that, I got excited, and because it was you, I was like more excited because I'm like, oh, it's somebody who I know, and I asked that person more about it. So what is kind of the mission of your position?
Yeah, so this specific position is based on providing financial literacy, right? So what that means is, we're partnering with different community stakeholders in the area, whether they're in housing or, perhaps is prevention, right? Like youth, preventing like high risk youth, right? And the different organizations that do that, and even schools. Like I'm partnering with schools that have like a parent resource center. And saying, hey, look, we have this content, we're helping people understand how to budget, how to set financial goals. What's a proper way to, what are the things to think about when you're setting a financial goal, right? What you should be thinking about. Because one of the things, if you have a goal or a vision, I mean, you don't write it down. It's just a wish, right? So we help people get to that place and make it achievable, right? Now, now they achieve something, right? We're helping people understand the credit. How to understand the credit. A lot of folks don't understand the impact of certain things, like your payment history. I've come across folks that are well off. They're in good position, in terms of economically. But they forget to pay the UI bill. It's not important to them. But they don't know, like, when they come for that loan, it's like, hey, look, you haven't paid your UI bill. Look what happens to your credit score. And then like showing them all that, and so all that information. I think the earlier on we get it out to our people, and the more they understand, the better they're going to be in position to reach the economic goals. So that's really what our focus is really helping people understand, what goes into their finances, what are the things they should think about when they're doing these goals, and how credit affects them, getting people on the pathway to home ownership.
Are you not you, but as Chase, more focused on youth, adults, or just everyone?
So the beauty of it is, like, we as community managers, we actually did like a strategic localization plan. So it's up to us, right? And it's up to me really in this community to find out what my community needs, right? What's the best, where are we lacking, right? So for my colleagues in the Bronx, or my colleagues in California, and in Sacramento, for example, they might have a different plan for that area, right? So we have all the tools, and we have the people in position. It's just about getting the information out there and engaging, and then making the difference there that way.
No, I think it makes a lot of sense. I recently, my niece, she's in college now, and recently, she reached out to me and, hey, Uncle Eddie, I got this credit card, my first credit card. What do I do? And I was like, that's a great question, right? Because I think, a lot of us, it was just like, oh, credit card, let's go use it. Oh, hold on, pump your brakes, let's not do that, So, and I kind of sat with her. I said, this is what you want to do. Right. We're not going to go crazy, but, she said, no, because I want to build my credit. And I'm like, oh, but this is a great conversation to have, But it's a conversation that she's asking me about when she's in college, when she should probably learn about it earlier, what I mean? So that's why I asked you, if the mission is to work with the youth or with adults, because I think the earlier we're talking about it, the better,
Yeah, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. Like, the truth is right now, like, there's not a curriculum in school where they're teaching this, right? And so I think it's a great opportunity for us to come in and start teaching this vital information. And so we present, like, I have content from kindergarten all the way up to high school, to young adults, and for seniors even. And so I've been focusing on high schools, right? And but engaging both parents and students. I'm actually going to be in Harding tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah, and we're gonna have we're gonna do something with the parents, and stuff. And so I've already been done things in the past at Harding with the students.
Okay.
And so I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, like, I partnered with John Torres.
Oh my God, Johnny! Yeah. Love Johnny.
So we talked, and he also we partnered up, gave me an opportunity to go to UB.
Yeah.
And we talked to some college students there.
That's good.
So
And Johnny, his organization, they touch so many kids.
Oh yeah,
You know what I
man.
mean?
It's my favorite organization.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one of my favorites.
Yeah,
Like
the
in the
Bridgeport
area.
Youth Leaders.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, man. He's doing a shout out to John. Yeah,
yeah.
he's doing a wonderful job, man.
So what could the community do to help you? Right, because you're trying to help the community, but you're only one person, right?
Right.
So what could the community do to kind of help you?
Yeah, I think just getting the word out.
Yeah.
7 months in now since I've been live, because I went live in June.
Yeah.
So getting the word out, right? Getting the word out. I appreciate you this opportunity even now.
Yeah, of course.
Getting the word out, and I think if anyone listening that that's involved in community,
Yeah.
we could partner up and maybe we could collaborate and talk about getting this content. I think getting the content out, in larger groups, that'll probably be like
cover more ground. Yeah, of
cover
course.
more
Yeah.
ground.
Yeah.
I'm the only one in Connecticut, right? So,
yeah.
I mean, I've been assigned to Bridgeport and South Norwalk. That's where our community branches are.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I didn't mention, like we're now in the community branch. We have the space where I can do presentations here. Like
where we're
at
okay.
right now.
Okay.
So I do presentations here. We could schedule them like on during the weekends or during the weekdays.
Yeah.
Saturdays being probably most effective. But there's 3 branches like this in Connecticut.
Yeah.
There's 2 in Bridgeport and 1 in South Norwalk.
Yeah.
But I'm the only one in Connecticut, so I'm willing to go to Hartford and New Haven and get the word out there, because there's need up there as well.
If you're watching or listening to this podcast, just go down into the description, and all of Eduardo's information will be there as far as the website, where you can find them, information, all that good stuff. It'll all be under there. So, if you're wondering, how can we get in contact with them? We're not going to go over that now, but just go in the description and everything will be there. And I'll get the information from you. We'll put everything under there so you can see everything.
Thank you.
And I had another question. Se me escapó la pregunta. But now what's in the future for you, right? I mean, June will be 1 year since you went live,
Yep.
So what are you looking forward to?
So I'm looking to continue to grow, the business in terms of what we're doing. Continue to make impact in the community, right? And meeting with leaders and just keeping it going. And one of the things is great to see is I always say, like in my presentations, if you learn 2 or 3 things, then it was worth your time coming. And I think that by us teaching and passing that knowledge, it's gonna make the difference in our community, and we'll start seeing that change, over time and stuff. So I think it's just one aspect of what we need to be doing as a community. So
has the community been receptive to this information?
Yeah, absolutely. I credit just being involved even before I was in the position.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of great people here in the city. And
when I saw that, I said, that's key, because Eduardo knows, like, he, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
As opposed to getting somebody that has to like really get in there, start meeting people. You already kind of know a lot of, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So it was really, I hit the ground running. And we got a lot of good people here, a lot of good people that care about the community and stuff, and it's about us connecting to each other and working together. I think that's the best thing.
No, most definitely. Now for you, are you mainly working out of State Street, or where are you kind of mainly at?
Yeah, so State Street is my hub.
Okay.
That's what we call my hub branch. But yeah, you can find me here, there. Like, it all depends on the weekly basis what I have going on.
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of events. A lot of times I go to their venues. So most of my events are at the venues that I'm going to. Like Harding, it'll be there.
Yeah.
I was at Cesar Batalla last week. It was there. At the school.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, to wrap up, because we gotta get out of here soon. The bank has to close, and we gotta get out of here. To wrap up, I want to bring it right back to the beginning. We talked about your family and where you came from and everything. We didn't really go into your wife and kids and everything. I love them. They're great.
Yeah, thank you.
But I want to wrap it up with that. What are you doing to make sure that your kids have this education? Have you started already with your kids? Or
yeah, absolutely. No,
okay.
I have.
What's some advice that maybe you could give some of the other parents with their kids?
Oh, I would say talk to them about money.
Yeah.
As uncomfortable as it might be, maybe it's a topic that maybe perhaps we as parents could get more information on.
Yeah.
To then get them something that's palatable for them, right? On their whatever situation that may be. Like me, I have my daughter is selling drawings, anime drawings that she's doing. She's selling them in school. So she's like coming home, like, hey, Dad, we need to go to the bank, right?
Yeah.
So now I tell her, there's how much you want to save, how much you want to spend, and how much you want to give away. That's kind of like how we
like don't like you mean like donate or
donate.
Okay, got it.
What's important to you? Like, well, what's important for us as a family.
Yeah.
And so I think as we need to have those conversations. And so that's what I'm doing with mine, is just really talking to them about money and using the same content that I present.
Of course,
I present to them for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
And the last question, it just came to mind. How old, or not how old, but how young can a kid get a bank account at Chase?
So on their own, they need to be 18, right? Or they can get their parents to sign, and they'll have permission. They could get permission from their parents as young as savings account. I've seen, that'll be at the discretion of a manager of a certain branch.
Yeah.
But they could get them. I've seen folks get accounts at 12, 13 savings accounts. You know,
and definitely something you recommend, right, for these kids.
Start getting used to handling money and learning principles. On how to handle money.
Yeah,
and because I think the earlier, the better. Like I said, we have content from kindergarten, so
that's good. Wait, Eduardo, listen, thank you so much, man.
No, thank you.
We've been talking about this for a long time. I'm glad we finally made it happen. I think this is great. I think what you guys are doing is great for the community. I'm excited to see Chase out and about in the community now. I just think it's great. I've been involved with Chase for a long time, and so I know how good of a bank it already is. And to see this, I think it just makes it even better, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for everything that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
I really do appreciate it, guys. If you're watching or listening, please go down to the description, and you can find Eduardo's information there, and reach out to him on LinkedIn or Facebook, whatever it is, and ask him how he can help you. That's what he's here for, and I think he'll appreciate you reaching out to him. I think sometimes that makes it a little easier when people reach out to you, right?
Definitely.
So thank you so much, guys, for listening. Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you.
Hasta la próxima, bro.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah.